Our word for today, your word for today, is coming from the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 20. We'll start from verse 20 and go down to verse 23. Our emphasis will be on verse 23, but we're going to start from verse 23. It says, "My son, give attention to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Yeah? Keep them in the midst of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh." Verse 23 says, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life." So it starts by saying, "My son," speaking to one who is his own, "My son, give attention to my words." To give attention means that you're not going to be distracted by anything else that's before you. To give attention means to focus. If you have many things that are going on all around you, your singular focus is on this one thing. So give attention to my words. Incline your ear, meaning the posture also matters. You know, sometimes someone is talking to you and maybe you're texting on your phone and they tell you, "Are you listening to me?" And you say, "Oh yeah, I'm listening. Please keep talking." But what they want is not the distractions going on all around you. What they want is how you're even postured to listen to them. Because you can listen sitting upright, but you can also listen inclined. To be inclined means you're even, what should I say, you want to hear more. You don't want to miss anything. So you're inclined. You don't want to miss anything because you are at a distance. You want to be closer. So give attention to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings, because words are hard. Then do not let them depart from your eyes. Words are also seen. How are words seen? When we read the Bible, we see the words. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Yeah, so hear them, then see them, then do not let them depart. Meaning, for the most part of my life, for the most part of your life, you should be looking at these words. So give attention, incline, and then do not let your eyes depart from these words. And after that, he says, keep them in the midst of your heart. So if I have the picture I get, if I have a suitcase or a storage space where I'm keeping all these things, keep these particular ones in the midst of all of this space you have, meaning they should take center position. They should take center. They should take priority. Keep them safely. Yeah. Don't just put them on a side, okay? Maybe at the back or in the back zipper or the front zipper. Just keep them in the midst of your heart. Right there in the middle where your soul is. Keep these words right there in the middle. Keep them in the midst of your heart. Why? For they are life to those who find them and health to their flesh. It's more like I'm sending my child to boarding school and I tell them, get this money or get this card or get this passport. Why? Because it's going to be your access into the next space, so you're going to need it. So keep them, for they are life to those who find them and health to all their flesh. Verse 23 says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. So after getting these words and keeping them in the midst of your heart, why? Because they're your source of life, and because there's life and health to your flesh. Life is in your spirit. Life is not in your body. Your body is dead. Without the spirit, the body is dead. So their life, the spirit of these words, is a life to your flesh. They are life to your flesh, okay? And then they also give health to this flesh. So the words that you're taking, the words that you're hearing, the words that you're looking at, keep them in the midst of your heart. Why? Because they will be your life. Without them, you're gone. And then they'll also keep this mortal body alive by keeping it healthy. So now that these words that are our life and our health, true critical things, without these things, nothing can happen. You can get married, you cannot work, you can do business, you can do ministry without life and health. So you need those two, they're very critical. Now that you have them, then guard, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. So keep your heart. Other versions say guard. Now, I don't know anything that is guarded that is not treasurable. I don't know anyone who hires security to guard their cats. I don't need anyone who hires security to guard weeds. Unless this weed is some special type of weed, and I'm not talking about that right now. The only way someone can go ahead to guard, to hire security, to watch day and night, to protect, to keep, to, guard, is because this thing is treasure. I don't know anyone who goes out and finds a mine, a field which has so much treasure, and they be careless about it. I don't know anyone who finds something that is their source of life and they're careless about it. I know many of us, when we find a job, after the hassle of finding jobs and applying to all these different places and all these meetings and interviews, once you find this job, you want to guard it. Why? Because it's very important to you. Out of it is going to come your provision, your daily bread, and whatever else reasons that you have for that particular job. Whatever you could think about possibly is that when you find these words and keep them in the midst of your heart, then guard the heart. Remember that picture I used in the beginning. When you find these words and keep them in a suitcase, then you keep the suitcase. Why? Because you need this treasure. And then says, keep them with all diligence, meaning it's consistently you guarding with all diligence. You don't go and come back tomorrow. You are diligent. You are consistently guarding this. Why? Because from out of this heart, spring the issues of life. Remember the deposits you made earlier? The words in verse 20 that you gave attention to, that you inclined your ear to, that you did not let your eyes depart from. Those words are the treasure that gives you life and health. So you guard them diligently, because out of them is spring the issues of life. There's a verse that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Why? Because what you've stored inside is what's going to come on the outside. And words are creators. So what you want to come out of you is that which creates what you want to experience and what you want to see. So the Creator, God, our Father, through Solomon, gives us the wisdom of what to store inside of us so that we can create the life and health we want to see, are His words, God's words. So today what I want to urge you or encourage you to do, number 1, verse 20. Let's go back to the beginning. Give attention. Do not be careless about the word of God. Give attention to the word of God. Then number 2, incline your ear. Posture yourself to hear the word of God with intent. It's not going to be by mistake or something, but there has to be a certain level of intent. Number 3, don't let your eyes depart. Yeah, with all the distractions and the social media, the good thing that while we have WhatsApp, we also have the Bible app. As much as possible, let your eyes be fixed on the word of God for the most part. There's grace for that. Yeah, schedule it. Look at how much time you're spending on all the other things and set aside time for the word of God. Take it in large doses and quantities. And after that, store it in the midst of your heart. Guard your heart, because out of it is going to come the life and health. The issues of this life are going to come out of your heart. Now, if there is nothing in your heart, nothing is going to come out. No issues of life are going to come out. Worse yet, if where you're supposed to keep in the midst of your heart, you're supposed to keep the words from this Bible, you kept and stored something else. That's what's going to come out. Why? Because the heart is a spring. It's the source. So once you fill the source with something else, that's what's going to come out. Junk in, junk out. So be sure to store what's going to bring life to your experience and what's going to give health to your flesh. That's your word. That's my word for today.